Health Minister Kweku Agyeman has secured a ceasefire in the impasse between overland encroachment at Pantang Psychiatric Hospital. The workers have agreed to return to work after 3 days of strike that left hundreds of patients and their relatives stranded. Maxwell Agbagba will join me in the studio in a bit, but first, the nurses have been demonstrating earlier today.
They're currently here on the compound of the Pantang Hospital. On Monday, it was a sit-down strike. On Tuesday also, there was another sit-down strike. All efforts to get various stakeholders, the Ministry of Health, the Lands Commission, to resolve this issue has not yielded any results. These staff members of the Pantang Psychiatric Hospital are today embarking on a demonstration. In fact, they are leaving no stone unturned to register their displeasure. Well, for some of them, the placards they're holding: resist encroachments of Pantang lands, stop the development or no work, Mr. President, halt the development of Pantang lands now. And these are all concerns being raised by these staff of the Pantang Hospital. Let's have interactions with them. Let's find out from them what their concerns really are. So today you are demonstrating. We know it is over the encroachment of your lands. Tell us, how do you hope this demonstration would resolve the issues?
Oh, if we are spectators, if we are citizens and we are not spectators, I know our president is citizen, he's not spectators. He will listen to us.
You think he will listen to you?
Yes.
But we hear that, previous governments have not listened to you. They've not done anything to help the situation.
Let's talk about president.
So what do you think this present government...
We want the present government to come our aid, to come and stop the development and acquire the land for Pantang Hospital, so that Pantang Hospital to be nice and Pantang Hospital. Thank you.
You are a member of staff here. What is? Student nurse.
Yeah.
Why are you not in school today?
No, they are taking their place too.
Why are you not in school today?
Oh, we are working with them. We are working with them. So when we can, we have to help them so that they will do their debut.
And how is the encroachment affecting you?
Oh, we as a student nurse, maybe in future we shall come here and work. So it may affect one or together.
So you are thinking of the future?
Yes.
Well, interested. He's thinking about the future.
Well, don't be so worried. That situation has changed. Maxwell is here to bring us up to speed on all of that. Maxwell, you've been with them for what, 3 days now?
Yeah, for 3 days. Yeah.
Basically 3 days now. Yeah, but finally, there has been what you were calling a ceasefire. The minister was there. Tell us a bit more about the situation before the minister came there.
Well, what I saw, I don't have a word to describe it. It's honestly indescribable.
Well, if you say it's indescribable, then it's quite indescribable because you seem to have a word for everything.
It was a desperate attempt by, the relatives of the patients who are reported at the outpatient department of the, Pantang Psychiatric Hospital. Whilst the demonstration was going on, we thought it, wise to go to the OPD and see what was happening, there, whilst the nurses were embarking on the demonstration. So when we went there initially, the doors, the gates to the hospital itself, were locked. We didn't have access, but later on we tried and we opened and we got inside. When we entered, it was just what I would best describe as a skeleton staff. And they were handling emergency cases. Okay. But at the time that we were there, they were not, attending to any patients.
Meanwhile, there were people who were still coming in seeking help.
Exactly. And so a lot of patients walked in. They go around, tried knocking on doors to get some form of attention, but they didn't get any. And there was this woman who actually came all the way from the Bronx region and brought her daughter to the hospital and was not getting any medical attention. And, she started, shedding tears. We can watch some of the worried, relatives right now.
See, Mommy, where exactly in Ufrim Fanao by?
Maybe I told me for region. Me or Sunan for Goso. Namibani, there were a cry yao, Yajuma Cantamanto, Ijum. Near friends, Oyale, or could you mammy be with him? Timmy Quay and a mammy, in Fanama Hospital, and actually, Oyaka Fio, or maybe be sorry, could probably. No, Miss Yen, and the neighbor hospital, Bounce, almost one more striking tea, or Monchano, Miss Ro, Samis Adin Kofia, and she could be a proud, and our cook will be like Kofa, Intimate, Tia, watching me, Miss Memoir, I'm watching me. Minimum be our happy, come as a man, no, Timmy Pamucho, joyful. for women, Nana, Mushami by mammy, Ominion and two mammy, and me.
She says she's coming all the way from the Brongaf region. In fact, she stays there at the Brongaf region, and her daughter actually lives here in Accra. She got information that her daughter is mentally unstable, so she came all the way from the Brongaf region to bring her to the hospital, only to be told that the Pantang psychiatric hospital is not working currently. They are on strike and they cannot attend to her daughter. She says that she's worried because her daughter, because of her condition, she feels her daughter could, attack somebody if she should take her back home without any medication or without any medical attention. She says her daughter yesterday attacked her whilst in the room. Whilst they were in the room, the daughter actually attacked her, and she's scared that that same incident would happen today if she's to take her back to her house without any medical attention. Name mental. You stop.
My name is Chief Rempe.
Chief Rempe. So what are you here for?
I came in with my son, who is mentally ill, to take medications for him. And I came in, the whole place is empty. There's nobody to serve me. And I'm desperate. I don't know what to do at the moment.
So what would you do right now?
If there's nobody and there's nobody attending to me, that means I have to go back. And then maybe I can take the box, his medication box, and go to any other pharmacy if I can be given some for some few days till the time that they resume. So I'm desperate at the moment, and I don't know, because if I don't get the medicine, I don't know, my son can even attack me. So I'm desperate. I don't know what to do at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
My name is Robert Opon.
Okay. So what are you here for?
I came to take medicine for my wife.
So many of people like that have been held to ransom. Of course, it's taking a lot more tears than what you just saw for the minister to come on board. So today the minister was there finally.
Yes,
how did the meeting go?
Finally, well, he came in. I think that was around 1 o'clock, p.m. First, we had indication that was going to be the public relations officer, and then later he came in and then had a closed-door meeting with management of the Pantang Psychiatric Hospital, and then later he addressed the workers, then addressed the press. In fact, he stated that he has reached consensus with one of the private developers, the one who is developing the frontage of the hospital. I mean, in fact, he has put up a lot of structures in front, of the Pantang Hospital itself. And the minister says he has reached an agreement with him, and then he also stated that his outfit will be in touch with other stakeholders on the matter and to see how best they can resolve the impasse.
Well, we can hear from the minister addressing the press on that matter now.
We couldn't come yesterday because we're hosting this international conference on TB, and therefore we just have to be there. We couldn't. So we rushed here to see how we can resolve the matter. We have seen what is going on here. The developments apparently encroaching on Pantang Hospital's lands, blocking the whole facade of the huge facility that we have here. And I don't think that is the best. Luckily, we met the main person who claims to own the land with his documentation and the court judgment. And it's like he claiming that he has rightful title to the land, and therefore he cannot abandon his own property for the sake of the hospital. Luckily, after engaging with him, he seems to have accepted my proposal that he's going to hold on with developments temporarily, and I've stressed temporarily, until we engage properly later after. And that is when we will find a solution to the matter. So with this message, I met with the staff and management of the hospital, who had put on red armbands and had actually been singing and shouting all day, even including yesterday and even Monday. They seem to have accepted the proposal and my plea. So they will get back to work tomorrow. That was the understanding. And I thank them for that decision. But then the condition is that they will give us some little time to see how best we can tackle the matter, engage the matter. So from here, what I plan doing is to engage my colleague ministers in lands and natural resources and the Minister of Local Government to see how we can bring this matter to a halt. The whole point is that government has interest in that area, and we will try to do the best that we can to make sure that government acquires the property if it's not its own as yet, so that Pantang will have the full complement of its land to develop itself.
All right, temporarily, and he must stress the word temporarily, he says. What more did he say, Maxwell, before you wrap up?
Responding to the issue of, some budget cuts. In fact, when the director of the hospital actually came here, Dr. Frank Bailey, he stated that they presented a budget of 8 million Ghana cedis this year to the Ministry of Health, but that was cut down and they were, allotted an amount a little over 100,000 Ghana cedis. Well, here's this.
Okay, 100,000.
100,000,
from
Ghana
8 million.
From 8 million, Ghana cedis. You also talked about the fact that they've not received any funding from government for the past, 3 years. The minister has been responding to that issue also.
That will be very good to hear now.
Working close with the finance minister to try to see how they can upscale some resources for us. After the approval of the budget, what we have, not until he goes for a supplementary budget, it will be very difficult for him to release anything for us at all. The bottom line of the matter is that the previous government has committed debts, not in the Ministry of Finance, just Ministry of Health, debt overhang. It's close to about 134 million Ghana cedi as at end of December 2016. To the extent that co-funding for sponsors who support this country, donor partners, to even procure vaccines for all the hospitals in our country, 2016, the government paid zero, nothing. So the little goods and services release that we got this year, just last 1 month or so, we have to pay out of 53 million, 43 million to ensure that we pay for co-funding to give us vaccines. Last week, National Security reported that some hospitals were running out of stock of vaccines that we use in this country. So that is a grim situation. But we are hopeful that all the challenges that we have with implementing the budget, we are packing them back to the Ministry of Finance, and they're giving us assurances. If revenues should go up and there's a need for us to do some supplementary budgeting, they will turn back and look at us a little bit. So we may have to just continue struggling with the little that we have until some new resources are allocated to us. It is not a very pleasant situation, but this didn't start only this year. For the past 3 or 4 years, you are all aware that no facility, no government MDA or agency was getting any releases for anything, right? The other good thing was that, you see, we came to meet a backlog of nurses that have been bonded who could not be posted because they couldn't add on to the payroll. They wouldn't get money to pay them. As I speak, over the last 6 months, we have actually posted close to 15,000 of these young people to go into facilities to work for us. And we are using money to recruit them. We have said we don't want a situation where you will hire somebody and go and work for 2 years without salary. So we are allocating resources in a very optimal manner, in a very prudent manner. And I believe some of these challenges, almost all of them, will be tackled going forward. But we just need to exercise some restraint and patience, and government is working to tackle almost every challenge that we have within the health sector. The situation is not the best. It's a very grim situation, but we are not going to run away from an obligation that is placed on us. So we are working to resolve it.
Minister Kwajima there. So will this end your frequent visits to the psychiatry?
Yes, it will end my frequent visits, to the Pantang.
I mean, not that we're saying you're going for any medication,
exactly,
but
exactly.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that those who are coming. I mean, we wouldn't see women like the one you spoke to today coming to cry.
Because this is the second time I
You spoke
encountered
into-
somebody
yes.
crying
Yes.
like this, letting out her emotions like this, and it's a really terrible situation. But I'm excited that tomorrow they'll be going back to work.
Well, maybe we'll touch base with them to find out just how
Exactly.
work is, because apart from this land issue, they have major issues as well
Exactly.
in delivering
Real
their
issues.
services. Well, Maxwell Lagbagba, of course, always on the ground, bringing us up to speed on all the things that are happening and all the details that you need to know. You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty and Dopia. Let's take a very quick break because Gary L. Smith is standing by with sports on The Pulse.